Our project is targeting falls, particularly in the elderly population. So when a person falls, they often don't remember why they fell, where they were when they fell, kind of like the context surrounding their fall. So our device is not only detecting falls in the home, but also detecting everything surrounding the fall. So what they were doing before the fall, where they were in their home when they fell, and we're detecting all this information so that doctors can use it to prevent future falls.
Given that falls are such a big issue, a lot of different teams have tried to tackle this already. There's a lot of existing fall detection methods out there. Life Alert, there's your Apple Watch, which can even alert medical attention when you fall and everything. But what we really wanted to tap into was the fall prevention space. There are existing fall prevention methods out there, but that's mostly surveys, and a lot of it is based on the physician asking the patient, what were you doing when you fell? What time did you fall? And for a lot of people, answering this question isn't very easy. So what we really wanted was a system that can look at the patient's environment and how they interact with their environment and how that's actually causing them to fall. So for example, it could be when they get up in the middle of the night to use the restroom. They could be falling then, and then because they're so sleepy, they could not remember any of this, right? So in order to design our fall context detection system, we came up with a variety of different design specifications that we'd have to meet. First, since we'd be sending our wearable device home with the user for 72 hours, we needed our battery to last at least that long. We also needed a device that is accurate enough to catch all falls and specific and sensitive enough to catch any near falls. For the sake of the population we're designing for, we also needed a device that was very comfortable and also easy to use. Also, the device needs to withstand the wear and tear of daily use, so basically it can't break if it gets laid on or goes into the shower with the user, as it is meant to do. Lastly, we did not want to affect the user's quality of life during the duration of the study, so we wanted to make sure it was not too invasive or distracting to use.
So over here we have our sensor system. So this records all of the data that goes into our device for detecting the falls. All of this data is fed into a set of machine learning algorithms that we developed over the last year, which can detect when you're how exactly you fell, when you're falling, and all the events preceding and after you fell, so you can understand what a patient was doing before and after falling.
Yeah, so this is a LiDAR sensor. When this spins around in a circle, it can detect where the walls in a room are, and it can create a map of it. If they're near their couch and they fell, a physician can make a recommendation to get a couch that's better suited for them in terms of height, because a lot of times people fall when the couch is too low or too high.
Next, we have an example of what the setup and study would look like within a patient's home. The wearable component of our device is worn around the patient's waist, just like a typical fanny pack. Before the commencement of the study, a technician would come into the patient's home and use the LiDAR scanner to non-invasively map their living area to detect any obstacles that they may encounter. Our device would be sent home with the patient, who would wear it for 72 hours continuously. This means being worn during sleep, during showers, and during all activities during the day. Here we've shown some examples of what falls or near falls could look like within the patient's home. Even though the patient may fall on top of the prototype, they will not be injured due to the durability and comfort of our device. We truly want to capture all factors that could cause a fall, so in this case, taking medications could cause a patient to have a dizzy spell when they're getting up from the table. After the duration of the study, our data is run through our machine learning algorithm, which can identify all of the surrounding context and risk factors which are causing falls and near falls within the patient's environment. Shown here is an example of our user interface, which the physician can interact with and use this to determine what changes need to be made around the home to prevent future falls from happening. In this example, this could mean removing the rug that was causing the patient to fall in the first place, and recommending that they use some sort of a stick or cane to get up from the couch and prevent falls from happening. So we really wanted a system that could track location, activity within the home, and look at the patient's specific environment, see how they interact with all of that, and ultimately our goal is to just prevent those falls from happening and save lives. Thank you for listening. We're Team 3 Seasons, and with us, there is no fall.